Hey friend, and welcome back to RGD Gaming, the least toxic, most fun community in all of gaming. Have you ever heard of the term map control? I'm sure that you have, but I want to give you a little bit of a different take on it in this video. Of course, we always want to control the entire map, but that's not really possible. The map's just too big and there's too many things. So what we need to do is decide what parts of the map are the most important. So let me help you out. Dragons, Rift, Baron, turrets. And I would say in that order, but it's not always the case. There's merit to getting a Rift Herald over Dragon, but one of the problems comes with the scaling issue where dragons eventually become so powerful and so overpowered that late in the game, getting an early dragon was way better than getting the Rift Herald and getting all the gold that comes along with it and getting first turret. So in this match, you'll see that we have Kaisa jungle, which I'm not particularly fond of, but I've seen it work, and so that can be an okay thing. And we also had a Darius, and I thought that we had a Braum, and I picked Miss Fortune because I do like playing her, but also because we have a lot of damage already, and the utility from Miss Fortune can be really helpful for our team to be able to round out kind of our team fight potential. It's not always the best in a 1v1 situation, but that was really what I was thinking was this is probably going to be best for my team because I'm going to have Darius, Kaisa, even Yasuo in there, and then this worked out fine. I'll get Seraphine for her ult. And actually I end up going against a Vayne and Lulu, which is really fine. I often beat Vayne's as Miss Fortune. Vayne, Azrael are two of the easier matchups for Miss Fortune for whatever reason. I wish I could tell you more about why, but they tend to be early on. Vayne can obviously outscale you, but looking at these comps, we actually have a really good team fight comp early on. They do have a Morgana and a Vayne, which means we need to end this match early, and we need to make sure that those two champions in particular do not scale. So that should really be our focus, is making sure either that we end the match very quickly, or that we get all the dragons, and so that way they can't scale as well as we can, and that way we can be able to win fights later on, because eventually Vayne and Morgana just become such a nuisance. Once Morgana gets like a third item, she is so hard to deal with because you can't stop her. She can block, most routes and everything. She can root you if you're chasing after her. Her ultimate can be used with stasis at that point, because you usually have by the time you have the third item, and she does a load of damage. So these are just things that I'm starting to think of. I actually play Morgana in the jungle quite often. She's probably my most played jungle champion at this point. Okay, so in this lane matchup, what I'm really trying to do with Miss Fortune is get some good poke onto these two and just put pressure on Vayne. Hopefully he misses some farm, and we want to keep him, kind of far behind us as far as the gold differential. If Vayne stays with me and kind of hangs as far as gold, we have a real problem. But fortunately, they just made a pretty big blunder there. And Kaisa's able to come in, get some good damage on Vayne, and couldn't get the kill, but that's okay. So now we have good pressure on them. Vayne really needs to reset, but he's going to miss a bunch of farm if he does that. So either way, he's kind of screwed, but it looks like he decides that he wants to stay, fakes that he's going back, and now, ends up staying and wants to try to farm this wave, which is, again, okay. But I'm going to put some damage on the turret, and then I think I should probably get out of here. But Seraphine stays, and I think it's a good idea to stay too. And let's see what we can do with this. We still have tons of pressure, and actually I'm able to get a really good poke onto Vayne, which is unfortunate for him because now he's super low. He missed a ton of farm right there, and I really think we should back off. We did a good job. We'll have a gold lead already, get a couple items, get our health back, and then kind of go from there. And so now Lulu's there, farming or doing whatever. Vayne's resetting. We'll be able to get back to lane. We only missed two minions because I missed that farm there, but really one minion if I would have executed that properly, so that's okay. And still just looking to get this poke on Vayne, and he or she comes into range, and now they're going to be in a lot of trouble. I got level 5, and we're looking for Seraphine to also get level 5, so that way we can combo our ults. And it's a really devastating combo in lane, or really at any point, especially in team fights. So that's what I'm really looking for, is Seraphine to be able to use her ultimate. And now Vayne is super low again. So you can see the pressure I can put on them. Now, we get a rotation from Morgana. She used her ult on me. And so now I see Seraphine's level 5. I use my ultimate. So does she. Boom. We get 2 kills there. So that went perfect. Vayne has to reset. So he's missing a bunch of farm. And their mid had to rotate in order to catch the wave. So this is going perfectly. We are the early game champ. We are taking the early lead. And that was good. Seraphine thanked our jungle for the ping, which helped us be aware that Morgana was coming for us. And so here we just want to continue to keep pressure on Vayne and make sure that he can't farm. So I do like to freeze here, and then I'm just really looking for Vayne to step up. And as soon as Vayne does step up, I sort of want to make a move. I don't know about that rotation necessarily. Looked like they had a lot of time to see what was going on, but it's okay. And now what we want to do is be aware that we've got dragon respawning in dragon spawning, excuse me, in 25 seconds. This is not good for Seraphine. Hopefully we can get out of there. And now I want to retreat. I'm pinging, retreat as well. So is Kai'Sa, and we really want to get our reset in. And I'm saying, okay, I'm heading to dragon. So what happens? Kai'Sa goes the exact opposite way. Goes to farm her jungle when dragon's up. So I think that's a mistake. Seraphine pings attack the turret, which isn't the worst thing at this point. But we need to be focusing on objectives. Morgana is on the dragon. Now Lulu's there. So now they have 3. So we need to collapse on this. And I'm able to get some really good poke onto them through the dragon with my double tap. And then I can use my ultimate. And we get a bunch of kills. They end up getting dragon here. But we get 4 kills. And so what I'm trying to do, I want to actually go to Rift Herald here. But I thought, okay, I'm going to shove this in. And now I'm going to run all the way over to Rift Herald. So I really just wanted to shove that in. Seraphine stays, and that can be okay. I wish Seraphine would come, but if she wants to put a lot of pressure on the turret and cause Vayne or Lulu to have to come, that's okay. So I'm going over to Rift Herald because I really want to get Rift. I think it's important that we win this fight, and so I'm going to already start attacking it. Kai'Sa comes, Yasuo comes, and so now we've got 3 people on it. 4 of them are just off in no man's land farming their lane, so we're going to get a free Rift Herald there. So it's unfortunate that we didn't get that first dragon because Morgana was able to steal it, but I actually think we would have got that dragon had we just all went there initially. So if everybody would have just rotated, rather than letting Morgana kind of farm that dragon or fight and get all the damage she did, we could have just collapsed on her, killed her, and then it wouldn't have been an issue. But she's able to get it because we didn't focus or think about that we should just be going right to dragon rather than, farming our jungle or farming a wave. Right now I saw that I was alone in mid, so that's why I was starting to take this tower. I don't particularly want to be alone, and now I see I've got some action, so I need to get out of there. I stayed a little bit too long there. I should have just did one wave and then got out, and now it looks like I could die, and I get away. So that was fortunate. Kai'Sa is able to get a kill, and now I'm going to be heading back to lane. That was really fast, but I'm switching up my build. I felt like getting anti-heal is better than getting, I think it's Cyrilda's Grudge maybe. It's really, the difference is you get the armor penetration percentage, and you can either take, I think it's Cyrilda's where you get the slow, or you can take Mortal Reminder where you have anti-heal, and I just felt like having anti-heal on this entire comp would be better than having the slow. I was just worried about the Vayne being able to have the heal that she does, and so that's why I took it. Now, they're very low. I really want to get a kill here, but actually I just need to back off. But you can see how well we do when we group as a team. Oh, they're able to get the shutdown. But we get 2 of them for 1 of us. So, not the worst trade in the world. And now I need to get out of there. I have no health and no mana. And so now I should catch this wave in my lane. And hopefully I can catch a second one. We got some action going on, and I guess that's top technically. And then we need to start thinking about the next dragon. Well, really Rift Herald I think will spawn first. usually. Depends on when they were killed. But Rift Herald and Dragon are the next couple of things that we're really thinking about. We're able to get... Now we get all the tier 1 turrets, which is perfect. So it's always good because that opens up the map on our end. And we still have, I think, 2 of ours. So this match is actually going really well, considering that we want to win early. The only thing that happened was we made a mistake at the first dragon, and it didn't just run to the dragon and focus it. So I'm going to run safely to this wave and take it, and then I'll probably want to shop. I just wanted to make sure they weren't in that bush. Sometimes you can get caught like that, and now I'm able to get another full item, and now I'm pinging that. I'm on my way to Rift Herald, and so we should all be going there. Seraphine, Darius should be running straight at this Rift Herald, and so should Kaisa. Seraphine's going the wrong way, and we do make this sort of last minute decision. Seraphine pings about the dragon, but Kaisa's going over to Rift Herald, so we make that decision to go and fight for Rift, which can be okay. So I want to get my ultimate off here, and I'm able to steal Rift Herald, so that's perfect. And that went well, but now we're kind of in a weird spot, but we get some really good damage, and look at this. Team fight, and we end up killing 3 of them. Now, what should we do? Go take Dragon. Kaisa's running literally the opposite direction that she should be, and we have a free dragon right there that her and I can take. So what should happen right now? I drop Rift Herald. We're going to get the mid turret. That's perfect. Kaisa and I go take Dragon. I set up Vision, and I end up trying to take Dragon myself here. So wait till you see. So Kaisa's fighting, kills Vayne. Super, you got to kill. But we really need you at this Dragon because we need to get the smite off. Now I'm taking a ton of damage from the dragon, and watch what happens. Malphite shows up. So now if Kaisa was here, we could probably fight him 1v2. And also if Seraphine ran right to the dragon as well as Darius, we would have 5 of us there. This dragon would be ours. Malphite would be dead. We'd have literally no problem. I mean, Malphite probably wouldn't have even come there at that point. But instead of circling back to dragon, we go and fight. And so now they get a kill on Darius, a kill on Seraphine, a kill on Kaisa, and we don't have dragon. And you can see how devastating that is, that just one seemingly minor decision to not just run back and take an objective, instead we try to get a tower, and I don't even know that we got any damage on it. So now we got this weird spot where I have almost no health. We're fighting, 3 versus 5, or 3, well, I guess that was 3 versus 2. But now all of them are there, and I need to get out of there, and I should have just ran, but I didn't. And now you can see that just letting my team know, like, that was a free dragon, and so not only did we give away the dragon, but we gave away a bunch of kills. I was going to type more, but I felt it unnecessary. And so this I fast forward through a bunch. There's just a bunch of nonsense that really didn't amount to too much, and I'm able to get another kill on Vayne. So I'm 5-1 and 6, which is really good, except for that we gave 2 dragons to the enemy team, and they are a scaling comp. So we need to sort of make moves sooner rather than later here, because they're gonna outscale us now with those 2 dragon bonuses, and if they get a 3rd for sure, like, the game's pretty much over. So I just shove out a wave here. Seraphine's a little bit far, like, yeah, you can't do that. Malphite's there. He's been playing really solid, especially with his ultimates and getting kills with it when he's been using it. And so now Seraphine dies. I go down, and I don't want to blame Seraphine for that, but I probably just wouldn't have been there if not. And now Yasuo goes down as well. So that was just a disaster. If Seraphine's back under that turret, we can defend that very easily with her abilities, and none of us die. And we have the turret. So another seemingly minor decision that turns into us losing a turret, and then also us having multiple deaths into the scaling comp. So now we're actually down in kills and down 2 dragons from what was a really good start and a comp that we could win. I fast forwarded a bunch here because I was just literally, at this point I'm sort of a little bit flustered. Don't know exactly what to do. They were maybe doing Baron, and I switched back, so I didn't know what to do. But there comes Malphite with his ultimate again. and we're able to get 3 of them. Let's see if we can catch up. Okay, so we get 3 kills on them, and this is okay to chase for a minute, but what we really need to do is get an objective. We could do Baron or we could do Dragon. Either is fine, but we need to do one of them, and we really need to do it fast, and ideally we would do both of them. So we decide to do Dragon. Seraphine is in mid, which is okay because we really don't need her to take Dragon, but now I make the call that we should do Baron. I think this is a good call, so we all need to go there immediately without stopping because we only have essentially 12 seconds to do this. And so what we need to do, everybody takes a detour, Seraphine takes a detour, Darius takes a detour, Yasuo gets stuck in mid, and we literally have seconds to take this dragon. Seraphine is not putting damage on dragon, and now we have Morgana here. I use my ultimate, and Morgana steals for the second time. Okay. That can't happen. I mean, you're just giving games away. And now Seraphine gets a triple kill and a Baron steal, and essentially what that is, you know, what are we going to do now? They have a Baron. I sped this part up because, you know, some of these things that I think I ran it in 1.25 speed just to go a little bit faster through this part. But Malphite gets another good ultimate on Kai'Sa. She actually skirts out from under the turret for some reason so she could die. And, you know, you can kind of tell, like, the wind's out of our sails. 4 of them are dead, and I'm really just sort of, you know, by myself. I'm trying not to lose inhibitor turrets. That's really your goal right now. If you are in this situation, is you're trying to prevent inhibitor turrets. It's okay, they're going to take the outside ones. If you're, you know, you're going to get caught if you go too far. And that was probably a mistake using my ultimate there. And I probably wasted stasis too. I should have saved it. I don't think she was going to attack me. So here, just trying to protect the inhibitor turret. I want to go back and get some mana and some life, get Guardian in case I do go down. And then I got to get out to protect our base. Gets the Elder spawning in 24 seconds. But we're going to be in a terrible position because we're going to have waves that need to be pushed out. Our team is just going to be respawning, and they could set up for Elder no problem. And another ultimate from Malphite. I don't know how he has such a short cooldown on that thing. But there's a ton of pressure here, and we're able to hold this off. And Darius goes down, Kai'Sa goes down, Yasuo goes down, and there's really only so much you can do at this point. I mean, you can kind of see where this is going. We really had the game in our hands, and we make just a couple of decisions. So we're ahead, we're in the lead, and really 2 choices here, maybe 3, cost us the lead, and inevitably, as you'll see, there's just about a minute left, but you're going to see it's end up costing us the match. And so what do you want to do differently? You want to use your pings. I might have made the mistake pinging for Baron, but I think if everybody would have just went to Baron rather than taking the detours, we would have had the Dragon and the Baron buff, and so things would be in a significantly different situation, and we probably could have got at least 3, maybe 4 turrets and some inhibitors. But instead, we allowed Morgana to come in, steal the second objective, and now, you know, Darius takes a detour around into the enemy team, Kai'Sa goes down, and the inevitable happens. So, if this happens to you, don't get mad at your teammates, don't blame anybody. Like, things happen in the game, you know, these people that are on your team now, they're going to be on the other team and make these mistakes. And so if you don't make them, you can set yourself up to win more matches. So, you know, you'll see we lose here. Hopefully this helps you, and so you can learn a little bit better with map control. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I see you on the Rift. GG.